Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Ace and Ektar Heroes of the Storm casting podcast. I'm still Ektar, he's still Ace, and we find ourselves for game number 1 on Sky Temple in this Division B East matchup between Die for Vision and Bad by Design. How you doing tonight, Ace?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm still listening to the StarCraft music that you had already, so, I've got another, 20 seconds of that? And
Might be even 35. I upped my personal stream delay to 45 seconds.
Ooh, even more StarCraft music? You do not have to tempt me any further.
I'm fully aware of that, but as I was mentioning before we really went live, we find ourselves for game number 1 on Sky Temple, and because we skipped past the picks and bans screen to get immediately into the draft, no one besides me and the two captains know exactly how we got here, so let me break that down for you. The coin toss was won by Die for Vision. They opted for first pick, which really has been the meta basically all season. So Bad by Design banned out Infernal Shrines, Die for Vision banned out Volskaya Foundry, Bad by Design banned out Towers of Doom, and Die for Vision banned out Tomb of the Spider Queen. So Bad by Design took us to Sky Temple, so the top 3 NGS maps got banned out immediately, and Towers I think is kind of crept up there in popularity too, so we're not going to have any of the real common popular maps being played here tonight, and I'm kind of excited for that.
I'm kind of excited, but I'm also kind of not excited. To be real fair, I like Towers of Doom, and I like Infernal Shrines.
I like Volskaya.
Volskaya is okay. I'm okay going without a Volskaya, but, well, I like some of those other brawly maps, but getting into the draft here, we have Zool picked up already on Sky Temple. That seems pretty good.
Yeah, he was allowed through the draft, and I think this is probably a fine map for him. It's not so big that he can't get value, and it's not so small that you can't just counteract his kind of value. So I think he's well designed for this map. However, whenever someone picks Sky Temple, that raises an eyebrow for me, because, why? There are better maps to do any of the normal standard things, so you're playing it for something kind of weird, in my opinion. And I want to see what the weirdness is that Bad by Design can bring in.
Yeah, I want to see it as well. I want to see the Abathur. Yeah, let's be real here. We both just want Abathur.
Or the Lost Vikings. Way back when Team Liquid used to play this game, they would pick the Lost Vikings on this map, and it looked impossible to contend with.
Yeah, the meta might have shifted slightly since then, though.
In the last 4 years, I tend to agree.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is not StarCraft Brood War tier meta, where it just stays the same for the last decade plus.
I mean, that's what happens when you have no patches for a decade plus.
Yeah, I mean...
Although, if I'm not mistaken, they did have a balance patch when Remastered came out.
I think they had a compatibility patch. I don't think it was balanced, but nonetheless... Falstad banned out, so Die for Vision opting for the pick the global, ban some other globals kind of approach. And Malthael is kind of just the in-between between a global and just a really speedy hero.
And Chromie might be the spice that Bad by Design are looking to bring out here. In a lot of these points, it is hard to walk at a Chromie. There's very small choke points that are really easily held off with time traps.
Yeah.
And currently... so the Melganis comes in. That's a really beefy front line. It's like solo damage Orphea, basically. But
yeah,
none of those tanks get to a Chromie very fast. Unless you go race car build.
Yeah, in which case you can get anywhere real fast, but I don't believe we would see that. But you know what? We very well could. The last pick will be interesting. The Malthael's going to do quite well here.
I'd still like an Abathur.
I still would too. Please, do it. I like that, to be fair. I can't argue with that.
I do like a High Lord.
That's pretty good. So that rounds out the comp for Bad by Design. I think I like their team fight a little more. Their macro will be on how well they play it, but I think Die for Vision has the advantage there, which, to be fair, is a big advantage on this map.
Yeah. So I like that they're able to shove Zool into their 4-man, because otherwise their wave clear is a little bit poor. But having Zool in the 4-man, along with having, the Dahaka for the offlane is going to give them a lot of wave clear really early in the game that I don't think Bad by Design are really going to be able to contend with too well.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. Chromie, while being a good mage and definitely good team fighter, does not have the best wave clear of all the mages that exist, with her W being on such a long cooldown.
A lot better than it used to, however.
Oh yeah.
We do have now spawning on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, Die for Vision with Michael, what a name, playing the Melganis, Atlas playing Zool, Sulfide playing Orphan, Earl Schlepp playing Dahaka, and Shamhat playing Deckard Cain.
He told me I could name myself anything, so I named myself Michael, the most common name. On the right side of the map in the red trunks, we have Bad by Design with Althine on Anduin, Storm on Alarak, Captain Crowley on Johanna, Lathandria on Chromie, and Inept on Malthael. That was a rude set of names to say.
Yeah, I definitely got the easy set of names.
I should have been pre-scouting my name meta. Oof, my goodness.
That's something I always mean to do and then never end up doing.
Lathendra.
Like, I don't know how much of that cast that you saw last night, but I need to continue to apologize to someone, but I don't know how to say the name of the person that I need to apologize to. It's kind of a catch-22.
Yeah.
Nice pull from Alarak, actually stopping Sulfide from getting the dash back, but oh, what a root from Deckard Cain, getting a very early pull from Anduin. A lot of damage taken by both sides, but no one actually going down. We haven't even been able to talk about level 1 talents yet.
I know, we had to talk about names. Now we can talk about level 1 talents. Everything seems standard for Bad by Design as far as I'm familiar with the heroes, and Field Study for Die for Vision seems to be gaining popularity with Ruby now being a top-tier pick.
I tend to agree. Ancestral Strength is a viable level 1 talent. I don't know that Orphan has a necessarily best build. And Shackler, I think has gotten more popular with the buff that it got a few weeks ago.
Yep, I see Ancestral Strength. I think the Dread build, the generic Orphea build, is more common because landing Qs consecutively in teamfights is hard, and if you mess one up, you're kind of just sunk for the teamfight, so I think this is just a little bit more of a consistent style build.
Yeah. We do have a little bit of an invade coming out, because we've got, again, a very beefy front line, and the possibility for Dahaka to burrow down if they really want to make a teamfight here. Captain Crowley is going to get hit by the root, but does pop the Unstoppable and is able to walk away. Malthael is rotating down to see if they can find anything, but the only thing they're going to be able to maybe find is some damage onto Atlas here.
The only find they might have... Ooh, nice, I don't know if it was a dodge or missed chastise or whatever. I thought Michael was going to go down, but he is able to mount up and escape, and already a nice, like, half-level advantage here for Die for Vision.
Part of that has to do with the fact that Inept rotated down for a gank that ended up not coming to pass. Who does take a couple of tower shots there from the Dahaka pull, but nothing too significant.
Yep.
And it is not waste card build, worth noting.
It is not. We do have tissue regeneration on 1 for that. A little bit more teamfight sustain, which is completely reasonable.
Absolutely. It's what you see. We do have a camp getting picked up now on the side of the blue team, and it looks like the red team is going to go over and take theirs as well just a little bit later.
Yep, we do have the Ruby picked up at Tar, and I think it's basically bound by law for us to tell about how good Ruby is now that it's been buffed.
It has been buffed. Every one of those miniature potions, yeah, that was My Heroes of the Storm was losing a couple frames there. That was not the stream, unfortunately. Or if it is the stream, feel free to let me know with more than just the T-Tours. But yeah, Ruby, every individual Ruby is 92.5% as effective as a regular potion. So even if you hit one person, giving you 3 Rubies,
God.
that's 3 healing potions in effect. 6 healing potions, that's an Ancestral right there. It's just a ridiculous amount of healing if you can get your team to walk on it.
Yep. Oh, Shamhat takes a bunch of damage and
does chunk out a lot of healing, but then unfortunately you had to step up too far to get it. That is the problem with Ruby. Sometimes you have to step up too far to get it and take more damage than you heal.
Yep. Bad by Design pushed off the point a little bit, though, as Dahaka rotated down and their health bars got a little low. Inept up in the top lane, we're not insulting you, just calling by the name, of course, is soloing up the top temple for now, and Bad by Design actually getting a really favorable advance on this first temple. Inept is in a little bit of trouble. Sleep into slow into Deckard Cain, but a nice little move might get him out of there if the tongue doesn't land, and it doesn't, so nice escape there.
Yeah, really well done. Additionally, dodging the Orphan Q meant that Sulfide couldn't really follow up on the attempts at CC that were coming out. Like you kind of mentioned before, Atlas actually getting caught. Bit of a rough spot. The pull comes out, but doesn't immediately land into the combo, and they're just barely able to walk away.
I would have liked Bad by Design to invade right there. They can see everybody top, and Zool couldn't have done anything.
In fact, Zool has to go back now. Maybe they still just make the decision to invade here?
Yeah, they still could, but
opting to just continue to get the bot soak, which is valuable if they're able to deny soak from their opponents by just clearing too fast. But it looks like they'll be able to get down there in time.
Yep. It does appear to be that way, so it looks like a standard, just, you know, standard wave clear, pick up level 10s before the bottom objective, and then press R buttons in a couple minutes kind of gameplay right now as camps being picked up for Die for Vision.
Yeah, we do have another gank attack coming out onto Atlas, but just barely avoiding most of the crowd control. However, there's that big one that you can't really sidestep too much, and that is going to be Atlas falling to the power of Chromie hitting level 8. Although the counter kill coming out onto Anduin is really well for Die for Vision, managing to make the best of a bad situation here. Orphan getting brought pretty low, a lot of mini potions, but not going to be able to save Orphan, who was too far to the left to go walk out and pick him up.
Yeah, that was an interesting rotation that came out for Die for Vision. They curled behind the boss point and actually flanked from Bad by Design's side of the wave, and that was a good flank, but it just came into a 4v5 scenario for them as Inept rotated down. So I like the play. It just didn't work because 4v5.
Yeah. Big Willie in chat about to schlep on him. Not gonna lie, it took me entirely too long to figure out what you meant by that. To obviously talk about the Melganis sleep and possibly even the Deckard Cain sleep, but I was thinking about schlep, the actual word, like to move heavy objects around, and that's clearly not what you meant, but I couldn't figure out an alternative for the life of me.
It could be relating to Earl Schlepp, the Haka player, for Die for Vision.
There's a lot.
Azul gonna take a lot of damage.
Really big stay while hitting out onto 4, it looks like, is going to cause for a decent disengage, although that light bomb is going to hit out onto several. Lots of damage being put out, lots of CC being put out as well, and that is going to be 2 kills going over in favor of Bad by Design, and they will definitely get the early channel onto this objective.
That did not overkill by much on the last rights. That was really well timed. Yeah, only 174 overkill on that ability. So nice call to just rip it right there, and ends up rewarding with a full pickoff. And now Bad by Design takes another temple pretty much entirely. Don't see a recontest planned anytime soon, and they're able to soak out the lane, giving them about a half level advantage.
Interesting to note, we do have Eternal Peace coming out from Orphan here, which is not the standard pickup for sure.
Inept is in trouble as he rotated a fairly dangerous path into the mid lane and does get taken out. That's going to allow Die for Vision to take this mid fort almost entirely. Bottom fort lives with 300 health, but the minions will take care of it. But that all of a sudden turns it from a big win for Bad by Design into a fairly even trade. So nice pickup there for Die for Vision.
Yeah. I was going to say during that earlier push, I would have liked to have seen Bad by Design do a little bit more. They kept Chromie on the point the whole time, which I guess it saves a little bit of damage out onto Storm, who does get taken out on this probably over-eager boss engage. But if you'd have had Chromie in on the bottom wall here, you'd have gotten that down. The bot fort would have fallen earlier, and you'd have started getting shots onto mid fort. I think they're doing a lot of good things. I just think that they could be getting more out of their advantages than they're currently getting.
Accurate, I agree. They're doing
exactly with what happened at camp earlier, that we both think they could have taken pretty much for free.
Right.
But they just did the conservative play.
Yep. And there's definitely time and place for both of them, but you always want to stretch your advantages as far as you can possibly stretch them. As bottom fort is now being assaulted, Eternal Feast is used, but a nice...
Doesn't even chomp once.
Nope, just it went for the chomp and just bit air as Althine pulled him out. Blessed Shield and Loop as a follow-up onto Zool, he also gets light bombed, and 4 ults will seal the deal as Bad by Design goes ahead and picks up another kill right before a temple phase. This seems to be a common trend.
Frux, I'm going to have to read that at another time because that is just a mountain of text that you put out in front of me. We do have the camp coming out from Bad by Design. We've got Johanna in the bot lane. I like that she's soaking out here, pushing it out so they can continue to get vision. Also, creeping closer to 16, but really just holding vision for this bottom objective.
Yep. Problem for Bad by Design is that they are about, 5 temple shots, 6 temple shots from losing both forts here. Yeah, so while they've done a good job, Die for Vision's going to walk on the fort, pop 2 forts down, and yeah, already assault onto the mid-keep wall is occurring by the mid-temple there.
Yeah, I don't think it'll get too much. It might actually get the front wall. Yeah, it'll get the front wall, maybe the well, but it won't get the keep itself. So they'll be even in important buildings. And then we're going to get to that awkward phase in the game where neither team has a significant advantage, and we're just waiting for the next objective to spawn.
Yep, that is what may occur, but this section is interesting. Michael goes ahead, gets a little bit of a CC combo, but is able to dodge all the follow-up because they didn't invest the ults, and it works out. Inept is going to be rotated upon.
And killed to death.
It will take wizardry to get out of this one. And Malthael is no wizard.
Nope. I don't think that this triggers Die for Vision to go for boss, but they think otherwise, and,
They see 2 top.
Yeah, they see 2 top and got a kill, so I guess this makes some sense.
Yep, and the DPS are not making an attempt to rotate down here. They do know it's here. There's a Chromie time trap on the boss. Like, this is a conscious decision not to fight the boss, which is reasonable.
Yep, 16's picked up for both sides. Go ahead and look at it. Ooh, what's that Melthiel? Is that, ooh, Spell Armor. I don't see that taken very often, but against what they're facing, it makes a certain degree of sense here. Although I think that contests with Unstoppable in the same tier.
It does. It does, and the way I've seen the CC combos go down, I'd like the Unstoppable. I mean, it's just kind of amazing. But, nonetheless.
Yeah. It's a little bit hard for Die for Vision to push in here because there's a Chromie is the really big reason. Plus, if Storm gets a nice combo, you can bring anyone down to half, which is enough for Chromie to get the kill. That is 2, 3 ults getting used on one hero. The 4th ult, Shamhat is very low, and is going to be the first one taking, again, 4 heroic abilities to take down one hero. But they are getting the hero, at least.
They are, and that... that sounds like the Captain Jack Sparrow meme. It's like, this is the worst ult combo I've seen, but you have seen this ult combo, and I'll tell you what, it is getting them these kills, and it's buying the map space.
In particular, this one is right as an objective spawns, too.
Again.
Yeah, so that's why this is okay. If that was just 4 heroics to kill someone, and it's a minute until the next objective spawns, that's just incorrect. Yeah. But because the objective's now spawning in the top lane, it's actually pretty good for them.
Yep.
Bring their Chromie back and everyone so they can clear out the threat going into the bottom keep, and I think that both teams are in a fine position right now, which is a weird thing to say.
Yep. The good thing for Bad by Design, all these ults are minute cooldowns or less, so it isn't too bad.
Yeah, they're already back up.
To do this. As death timers get longer, they basically just pay for themselves.
There are 2 fights happening now.
Yes, there are. We need some HTC split screen. I'm looking at the bottom as Malthael gets taken out and 4 Siege Giants assault the bottom. Up top, we do have Dahaka and Deckard Cain going after it in a very slow fight where it looks like everyone should get out. Bottom keep is dead, and I think that's definitely the most significant thing to come out of this.
Yep, top keep did not go down. It's only at about half health, but no, that's not actually worth all that much.
You don't get half of an extra catapult from it, so it is all or nothing for those. So yeah, definitely the bottom mattering more.
Chromie picking up her Storm talent, which is, as you can see right now, it's the Pierce, which makes her from a pretty good hero into an incredible hero.
Yeah, like Ektar and I were playing some some tasks and Chromie earlier, and it's literally Tassadar's Q
But
on a
better.
3-second Q cooldown with more damage.
Yeah.
Like, what? It's insane. We don't have, once again, the first time completed yet, though. There hasn't been enough esports to get that stacked up enough.
Yep. Checking the damage numbers real quick. We do have Chromie in the lead, but not by a whole lot, as Orphan is only about 1,000 hero damage behind. Biggest siege damage is actually coming in from the Dahaka as opposed to the Zool, which is what you kind of tend to expect, but we do seem to have DesignDivision looking to take a fight up level 20. They're sharking around for it, but their Dahaka is still in the mid lane trying to find that level 20, so I don't think they're going to get it. And I'd be really surprised if Bad by Design, bad as their name might indicate, would give a fight before level 20, considering how close they are.
Yeah, it would be a little wild here. Alark
Respect the
has...
elderly.
Ooh, I do like that. Seeker Swarm is actually an insane level 20. He gets so much automatic CC with that. Contagion, good. Eldritch Conduit, pretty good. And Mortal Wound, one of the really scary level 20s that exists in this game.
Varian's Legacy. What a godly talent.
No Lightwell with it, though. We do have the Inner Focus, but still, Variant's Legacy.
Yeah.
Real good.
So this is a trade, which you normally think trades favor both teams evenly, but DesignDivision can pick up 2 keeps for 1 objective, where Bad by Design are only going to pick up the 1, so definitely an advantage for DesignDivision. We've got Captain Crawley trying to defend this mercenary camp, but the rest of his team isn't there to support him quite yet. Lightbomb comes out with a lot of movement speed, I think, off of the Condemn, but not really hitting out on anyone right now. We do have a Feast coming down on the point. This is where that ult is going to be valued.
Yeah, it grabs value by picking off Storm. Johanna trying to escape, but instead Anduin will be taken out in her place. Lethendra and Captain Crowley now in a lot of trouble as the 5-player assault continues in the bottom lane. Did they both just get away from that? That's kind of sorcery, as the tornadoes come out to try and disrupt this core assault from DesignDivision.
I hear alternatively that this is the best or worst core defense mechanic.
Yes. Here, though,
doesn't seem to be doing a whole heck of a lot right now. We do have the Stay a While coming out to protect the core engage. However, Atlas going to get brought down? Just barely. Johanna stays alive with the power of the Invulnerable, but does fall. Or the first game, rather, falls. In favor of DesignDivision, with a really well-executed late-game teamfight.
Yep. Also having 5 catapults and 4 siege giants, that'll definitely take down a core pretty quickly. Just on the perimeter of those tornadoes, but...
Ooh, boy, look at the difference in healing between Deckard Cain and Anduin there.
I mean, that's partially because of comp. That's a beefy comp for DesignDivision.
It's true.
And Rubies, but the kills 8 to 8 exactly. So I think that comes down to a lot of what we were mentioning. Bad by Design grabbed the kills, grabbed what they needed, but didn't seize the advantage that they constructed for themselves. And just needed to take more when they had it. I like their plays. They were up a player for well over half of the objective phases, but they just couldn't actually turn it into an advantage.
Oh boy, you have been hidden on the screen the whole time. Let's bring you back.
Oh no.
There we go.
How dare I? Oh. That's a shame.
And then tribute your name on here.
Oh.
Boom.
We are tech support incoming, but yeah, once they message you or invite you or do something to get you
figuring out what's going on
into another
game
game.
Number 2.
Yeah, so
all right, let's check out what Big Willie has to say about that. Okay, Earl is actually a world-class bodybuilder and small-time celebrity from my hometown. He was on Oprah in 2009 and is currently retired. Good guy, coaches his daughter's softball team. Happy to see him play a game that's so close to my heart. Yeah, it was his first pioneering the move coined the Schlep that propelled his career as a truly unparalleled minor league guitar player. When that man starts schlepping, can't nobody keep up with the beat. The old sleep and schlep combo up top. I feel like I'm being trolled right now. I'm not.
I feel like
I'm not 100% sure.
It feels like a bit of a tall tale, but who am I to disagree?
How did you get in the lobby before me?
They invited me.
I guess probably because your name appears first.
That is true. There are advantages to being higher up the list than Admiral Aardvark, for example. That's a vintage reference.
That's a lot of A names, too. Alrighty.
It really is.
So we had Bad by Design opting for map pick and taking us to another one of those lesser seen maps.
To be fair, when you ban out all the most popular maps, you will get the lesser seen maps.
This is a big fact. Michael coming in with the Wooloo, big fan.
Is there a sheep? There is no sheep emoji in this game, unfortunately.
No, but there are sheep emotes in my Twitch chat now.
Oh, there sure are. Or, 45 seconds ago, there were sheep emotes.
It's true. Believe me, I'm chat.
I trust Twitch chat with my life. Every time I read anything.
Unless the only time you can't trust Twitch chat is when it argues with itself. Twitch chat is still right. You just don't know which portion of it is right.
Of course. Of course.
So yeah, we're going to have All-Track Passes game number 2, which I hate personally. But I like to see games played on this map.
Yeah, as long as we don't have to play on it with anything other than medevac, it's a good map.
Oh my god, medevac on this map is so fun. It's not great, but it's so fun.
It really is. I mean, look, you go around the tour of the map, Ektar's tour guides, around the map, and you visit all the bosses, all the different keeps that are featured, and eventually you lose. But it's a fun time.
You take 8 more bosses than your opponents, and you still manage to lose.
Yeah, that feeling there. Keeps don't even go down from it.
Yeah, the bosses on this map are not the strongest in the game.
No, but they
do alright.
Yeah, they're definitely better than some stuff, but all right.
Maybe better than like the Hanamura camps, but that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. I'm trying to think like what bosses are really bad to push with. But the only thing I can think of right now are like objective bosses, which are just real bad.
Baneling Swarm Host, but even that does really good siege damage.
That does really good damage if there are no players on it, because if there are players nearby, it does like an extra cycle of attacks that essentially distracts it from doing siege damage for like 7 seconds. But if it's left unattended, it does like all sorts of stuff. We're talking about Forehead Junction over here. We're on All-Track Pass, though.
Yeah, you're right. We could talk about Brax's Holdout, which has the Archangel boss, which actually has the best sieging boss. No way, that does so much damage.
It does so much damage, but it's also made of paper, and like, if you don't push with it, it just kind of dies, but whatever. Zool picked up again. This is a bold strategy.
How do we think the
of letting Zool through? I think it worked okay. Like
that's my assessment as well. Like
this is a less good map for him.
I like the Ragnaros pickup for this map though. This map is gigantic, and Lava Wave is fantastic.
Good. It is. It is a good old.
So, I don't like Zool in the 4-man very much, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely be some Soul Lane Zool action.
It's true. All-Track Pass is one of those maps that you kind of want a solo laner and a half.
Yeah. Yep. And we've got Ektar. I know we keep saying it over and over, but it's more Mephisto play. I don't know. Good mage doesn't have great wave clear though, but can really kind of do some crazy stuff in a team fight. So,
hang on, I gotta ban some viewbots.
Ban some viewbots.
Viewbots.
Oh shoot, I didn't even have it open. I was slacking on the mod job right there.
Twitch chat moderator.
Oh my gosh.
We've got Anduin getting banned out, which These healers are backwards, right? I'm not making it up. It was
That is correct.
Athelene played Anduin last time. Has a lot of respect for the hero, and does the devious 1-2 punch of taking your opponent's healer and also banning out the one that you just used, making it so they're gonna have to go a little bit deeper into the hero pool. But personally, I think the healer pool is about as deep as it is wide these days. So I don't know that target banning on healers is necessarily the way you want to go.
Strong agree with that.
On the other
complete
hand,
opposite
they've already
of the
got
tanks.
a strong damage dealer, a soul laner, and a tank. So I don't know what they should have banned differently, to be honest.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. That's more of probably a scouting ban or something.
Although Anduin does save people from Garrosh, so maybe the thinking is to remove that.
That's reasonable. That's very reasonable. What do we have? We have Lucio and Thrall finishing up this draft. So nice. I can't mouse over Thrall and see if he's a bruiser or not. This could technically, and this is a real stretch of technically, be another tank and 2 bruisers comp for by Blizzard definition.
I'm convinced that he is, because Malthael is a bruiser, and he's about as paper as Thrall.
Yeah, no kidding. Bruisers, but Rag. What's Rag? Is he a bruiser? He a ranged melee assassin.
He is a bruiser, almost completely sure. 4 bruisers in this game, plus 2 tanks.
Blizzard, bruisers and melee assassins, one in the same.
I mean, I've seen plenty of Zeratools run in the soul lanes, so honestly, are they actually different? I'm not convinced that they are.
That, might be true.
Zeratul can be running the soul lane. Alarak can be running the soul lane.
Maiev can be running the soul lane if you like Soak, which is good. But Maiev cannot be running the soul lane to actually do functional things.
That's fair.
Most of them.
But we have now the winners of game number 1 spawning on the left-hand side in the blue trunks. They are Die for Vision, with Sulfide playing Thrall, Shamhat playing my favorite Lucio, Atlas playing Zool once again, Urschlepp playing the... I can't tell because they're all standing on top of each other. Mephisto, and Michael playing the Johanna.
And in the red trunks, on the right side of their choice of Alterac task, we do have Bad by Design. We have Lithendra on Ragnaros, Althine on Deckard Cain, Storm on Li Ming, Captain Crowley on Garrosh, and Inept again on Malthael.
So Lucio going into, unfortunately, my least favorite level 1 talent for Lucio.
Party mix.
It's not a bad talent, but you give up smooth moves, which is fantastic.
It gives up Reddit Lucio power, and let's be real, you play Lucio for the Reddit Lucio.
It's true. I got checking some of the other level 1s. We do have Scroll of Identify coming out from Deckard Cain, which I think has really not been good ever since the move speed changes a while back. It's just too easy for heroes to walk out of it. And you'll get stacked eventually, but it's a really late eventually.
Yeah, eventually Trademark is only good for game releases and patches, not for completing your quests. Actually, pulling up Hero's profile, it does have the lowest win rate on the tier by a decent margin. So
I am not surprised.
Yeah, 47 on that, 53 for Field Study. So, Field Study definitely getting the work put in right now.
Oh, I like this coming up from Captain Crowley. The Mephisto doing what he does, but getting punished anyway.
Bye-bye.
And killed. Very early. First kill of the game going over in favor of Bad by Design.
Yep. Let's see him leverage some advantage. They are going to grab a camp, which I think is the correct thing to do. Atlas going to have to match the camp clear, but down a player, you can't have 2 people in the camp and soak every single lane at the same time. So Bad by Design, hopefully hopefully for them, will cause some soak denial. Although XP globes.
None missed.
Nope.
All globes picked up in the mid lane.
2020.
So instead they wait. What is it? 4? It's 4. So heroes 344 XP. Just under double what a mercenary camp is worth, but mercenary camps aren't worth very much themselves, so not a whole lot to be gained, but it does sort of a bit of dominance for them.
Yep. If nonetheless it prevents Mephisto from being a threat. He has gone into Malicious Intent, which I do not see, and Spite, which I really don't see. Spite is the Regen Globe, basically procs trait. Malicious Intent is spell power, so...
Right now we are 0 for 2 on talents that I like taken by Dr. Kane right now, going into the Potion of Shielding.
No, don't do it.
Very, like, 2018 the best talent, but I don't think it is after the most recent
His
patch.
profile agrees. 49 for shielding, 51 for Ruby. So, yep, we are...
Doing it with math.
Yep, we are in fact investigating the math. We do have the kind of the ranged assassin style build coming out from Ragnaros with the spicy meatball. That is his meteor.
Yep.
And have anything else spicy going on? I think everything else seems pretty normal.
I do like the immediate camp taken by DesignDivision. Like they were there about 2 seconds before it started spawning in, which is, you know, not a lot of lost time, but it gets them taking that camp immediately. And you know, this is a map where you tend to not have a lot of ways to get advantages, so picking up your camp 30 seconds or so earlier is one way to get an advantage, and it forces your opponents to deal with it mid and not defend their objective.
That is a true statement, as level 7s are picked up for both sides pretty much at the same time. Captain Crowley's looking for somebody to throw. He will not find anybody immediately, as this kind of just stalls on now, as both teams posturing to try and find something to do.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't know that Bad by Design are going to get an opportunity to go and take their camp. There's just too much esports going on right now.
Yes,
Ooh, Captain
indeed.
Crowley is able to unstop a lot, but Inept does not have that luxury and is going to be the second hero to fall. But unfortunately, a lot more impactful of a death there is Atheline is in a pretty low spot. Does get blunked upon by Storm, but ooh, Lucio coming in for the attempt at redditing. Doesn't end up finding the kill, but it puts them into a pretty good position overall. Garrosh next fall.
Yeah, Captain Crowley ended up getting taken out. Shamhat harassing the Li Ming, which is, as a healer one-trick Lucio player, as I could be considered NGS, love harassing Li Mings. Oh, wow, nice meatball hit, though.
Yep.
Did a lot of damage and just blew up Lucio.
And that little engagement is exactly why I like smooth moves on one, because it gives you extra time with your move speed, sure, but really importantly, it gives you a bunch of small incremental healing on auto attacks. Anytime that your movement speed is active from wall ride, you get a small amount of life regen every time you land an auto attack, and each of his auto attacks hit 3 times, so...
I think it's 4 in this game. Is it? I'm pretty sure it's 4, but I might have to...
I need to watch now. But yeah, when you're like, dueling a Li Ming, just like getting 13, 13, 13 for heals from auto attacks can be a lot of value.
Yeah, it sure does.
Meltdown in the top
Camp's
lane,
died
he needs
now.
to come back down like 10
Yeah,
seconds
he's got a pretty pale horse that allows him to do that.
It's true.
Fairly quickly.
It does allow DesignDivision to take a more advantageous spot on the map than they'd otherwise would have been able to.
Yep.
Although
I really...
quite a bit of damage from those niggles, really punishing them for shading into a position that can be engaged upon. Nice throw on the Shamhat.
Big throw. That's a Wheaties kind of throw right there, getting that extra distance to make it happen. Lucio taken out. Camp is picked up, so it is DesignDivision's turn just to try and stall it out. They actually end up getting a kill on Captain Crowley. Atlas, down low HP, is going to get taken out, but it is stalling for the objective, which has 5 seconds remaining. And it looks like Bad by Design is going to barely be able to pick that up. And Earlschlepp getting out with sub 30 hit points. Ooh, Wave of Force just barely misses.
Yeah, I don't want to call out Inept for their namesake too much, but they were the one on Mephisto and let them get out with 23 hit points. So one more of anything there does secure the kill, but they are still going to pick up this first objective.
Yeah, that is definitely nothing bad. It's they will pick it up. Lava Wave cleans out the bottom lane quite nicely and hits those minions right as they spawn. Even cleaved a middle minion, got one of them. So nice.
Yeah, we do have the 10s coming in from both sides. Obviously, we've seen the Lava Wave. We've got the Stay a While, Wave of Force, which I remember what it's called for the first time ever, Warlord's Challenge, and Last Rites. On the other side, we've got Durance, Sundering, Poison Nova, Blessed Shield, and the Beat Drop.
Of course, because as I forget who mentioned it, I think it was either you or somebody else that said, you know, they didn't like that reverse amp was picked 5% of the time, so they moved it to level 7, and then replaced it with another ult that's taken 5% of the time.
Yeah.
So
I would take reverse amp more often than I take high 5.
yeah.
Did have a kill out of Thrall, and I'm sorry for missing that in the top lane. I thought that's where the excitement would be happening, but I was clearly mistaken.
Yeah, I think that was a Captain Crowley throw into definitely Last Right stack, as we have one.
Sure
So
do.
Last Rites was used to finish that kill off. So nice little pickup there. Will guarantee them bottom fort there.
Yeah.
And that is a definite nice pickup.
There's a big old wave in the bot lane, so look to see if Bad by Design recognizes this and runs to the top boss. It looks like we have a little bit of the potential for that. They want to go for actually the fort instead, and I think this is fine. It does the same thing that boss does and is a little less dangerous.
Yeah, but it's also less guaranteed. Inept is taking a bunch of damage, and he's Malthael. He actually does, like, negative damage to buildings.
It's true.
And now is in trouble.
And we were only 3 people this whole time. Admittedly,
Yeah.
there's only 2 people mounting the defense right now. So,
Now it's
there we go. Johanna
now
comes
the
in from
party's
behind.
right.
It's a nice taunt and throw on the Shamhat, and that is going to be her falling, certainly. A lot of damage. We did have the Punish Subdue quest getting finished on level 7 from Johanna, but... Ooh, I love the Lava Wave used bottom, because, you know, it just soaks the lane for you.
Yeah. Lava Wave Soak is really good, and lets the catapult, or rather the,
Reaver.
Reaver. Yeah, it's not a giant metal slug, so I don't understand that name at all. So, nonetheless, it does allow the Reavers to push the bottom lane and, you know, allow Die for Vision, or, sorry, Bad by Design to pick up their mid camp.
You know, I was bad enough at Brood War that when I think Reavers, I actually think of the movie Firefly, or the movie Serenity instead. Firefly is a TV show that the movie was based upon.
Fair enough.
Second objective spawning in the top section now. Both teams have 13 and then some, but there's a lot of map positional advantage going over in favor of Bad by Design right now with that bottom fort being taken down and Ragnaros basically lava waving it on cooldown. Additionally,
Yeah,
they're
that
going to
is-
get this top well. I don't think they get the fort because there's too much of a defensive rotating in at this point. But they do get the well, and as long as they're able to get on out of here, that's a really good fight for them.
Yep, the sleep will make that happen. Maybe Captain Crowley now in a little bit of trouble, as Stay a While was not quite enough. Inept actually is getting a lot of healing from these soul rips, but will it be enough? Probably not with the Poison Nova coming out. We do see that Shroud of Wisdom again, not opting for the Unstoppable.
Yep. A lot of damage was chunked out by Li Ming during that last team fight, but just not quite enough to get those resets rolling. I still don't think that Die for Vision are going to have an easy time stepping in here, but they should bit eventually. At least the initial round.
Yep. Lava Wave goes into mid. That's a nice beefy wave to clean up, and then we'll get the next spawning wave as well. So nice little pickup there as the camp now finally starting channel for Die for Vision, but you know, it's a 5v5 fight again. So off we go.
It's not a 5v5 until Malthael gets here. We're taking a pretty decent fight right now. We do have a couple of quests getting finished up by Bad by Design here. And actually a lot of damage being chunked into basically everyone on the side of Die for Vision. Michael getting out with 2 digits worth of hit points. Rawl is the first to fall, followed very quickly by Lucio. Atlas very low and is gonna get picked up by a Li Ming auto attack, it looked like. Michael barely gets on out of there. Earl Schlepp is not gonna get out of there. Getting a nice little stack from Malthael, and that is going to be 4 uncontested kills and almost certainly the objective going over in favor of Bad by Design. Looks like they're going to keep Atheline on the point and then send everyone up to take boss, maybe, or just soak the lane. I want them to take boss, but they don't have Malthael.
Yeah, that's good not to spread yourselves too thin, but I think they're able to do all this. Malthael can take that camp pretty quickly, then rotate up top. They do have 16, so a recontest would be ill-advised for Die for Vision, so...
Yeah.
Yep, I think
even Deckard Cain should have enough interrupts here to maybe let this finish out. Malthael does come in as well. Actually not going to be able to pick up the objective immediately. That will get channeled back over. They still have 16 advantage, though. We'll look at those for just a sec. Ooh, is that Mirror Ball? Interesting.
it is Mirror Ball. We also have the Herodric Staff for Deckard Cain,
Pimp
which
Cain.
is always fun. Earth Shaker and Soul Collector. Seems relatively normal, although I hear that new things for whoever it is, Garrosh are pretty good. Garrosh, speaking of, is going to run into the back line and create a big problem for Alice. Actually interrupts the Poison Nova, and that's going to cause him to get taken out very quickly. And that's following the speed mobility of Lucio as Sulfide gets 4v1'd in the back, and Shamhat just barely gets everybody out. But that's, again, more kills, boss, and everything you could want for Bad by Design.
Just the audacity from Die for Vision trying to take that camp. I love that they're actually just holding this, and they're going to start on bottom boss. I do think they probably should have Malthael here for this, but with Mirror Ball, Lemming's actually got better boss clear than you might think.
Yeah, it's
The only cost to it is mana. It doesn't actually increase the cooldown, and Deckard Cain is a tank with those right potions. I mean, 10 armor and a full heal every couple seconds. That seems pretty good.
Way tankier than Ragnaros, that's for sure. This bottom lane is now really scary. Top falls basically guaranteed. There's like 800 hit points maybe.
1,000? Yeah. It's 1,800, so put ours together.
Bigger bars than I think that it does, but
I think
bottom
they got
should
scaled
fall because there's a boss and a cavalry here. Mid at that point doesn't matter. Like, you can end with just 2 keeps down this map really easily.
Yep, but you do need those 2, especially with just with all the things of how the meta plays right now. You do need those 2 keeps on this map, especially.
This was the only map that didn't have its core get changed in any way, so it's exactly as hard or easy to finish on this map as it was before once you get on the core.
Wow, Lucio got...
Just a huge blow going out onto Zool as well, and Mephisto gonna fall, and I think it is all over but for the crying here for Die for Vision. We are gonna find ourselves on a game number 3. There is no way to contest all of this pressure.
Yep. Lucio got bursted 100% by Leeming, 100 to 0 in just about 0.6 seconds. That was actually disgusting.
Yeah.
Infinite Archon comes out, destroys the core, and Ektar, we are big fans of this game. It is game 3.
That is my favorite game in most series.
It's always important to say most, because I don't like game 3 when I won the first one, but...
Yeah. Or, you know, game 3 of a best of 5 could just be nothing at all.
That's true, but for the majority of NGS things.
Healing numbers looking a lot more similar this game than the previous game. Damage numbers favoring Li Ming over Thrall. Wow, Thrall beat Mephisto there. That's a bit of a surprise to me, because Mephisto can really chonk out some damage, and he's been doing it a lot recently. And then, wow, the XP totals for Bad by Design really showing the advantages that they were able to get in there. The Lava Wave is incredible on this map because it's hard to soak all the lanes all the time, but even Malthael beating Zool out by over 4,000 XP.
Yeah, turns out being alive, pretty good.
It's pretty good, Crip.
Yeah, I would recommend it. I have a tough time putting it into practice to stay alive.
Especially on Malthael, I know you.
Oh boy. Look, my goal every game in Malthael is to be not the most deaths. And I get that about 50% of the time. Yeah, it's not good. So, I wonder where we're going next. I would think Cursed Hollow.
Alright, so I can tell you that Bad by Design have map pick again.
Alright, so I definitely think Cursed Hollow.
I think that's pretty smart. They did really well on Alterac, and Cursed Hollow is the next closest map to that in the pool. We could have had Garden of Terror, but y'all voted otherwise, so what do I know?
ridiculous.
Yeah. Though to be fair, we did actually have Sky Temple played, so the least played map was played in this series.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Sky Temple, spicy overall. Where does Alterac rank? Is it like
Low.
Do you know? I would think it's like real low.
It's bottom 3 for sure. I think it's second least played after Sky Temple and before Braxis. At least it was last season. I can't vouch for this season because Fallenderth actually put out a Stats of the Storm update today that I've not downloaded yet. If y'all aren't using Stats of the Storm, what are you even doing? Go into hashtag community plugs on the NGS server. Get Stats of the Storm. It gets updated about once a week with all of the NGS matches, and you can get so much good data from it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Alternatively, you can do Hero's Profile, but it doesn't quite give you... It gives you the same information in a different way, has some extra information, and has some lacking information, so get them both. Maximum Scouting. Let's do it.
I personally... so Hero's Profile gets updated faster because as soon as your replay is in there, it updates relatively quickly, whereas Fallenderth updates once a week.
Yeah.
But I think the search functionality and your ability to filter the results in Stats of the Storm makes it the superior scouting tool when you have the same pool of information.
True enough. We are on Cursed Hollow, so that was no surprise to us, and we'll see if there's anything extra spicy coming out, or
just like playing on the big map.
Yeah, I mean it's been Sky Temple, Alterac, and that. So
yeah, all big maps. Though to be fair, they banned out the 2 of the small ones.
Yeah, that is it's a thing they did. They like big maps, and they cannot lie.
All you 2-lane maps can't deny.
All 2 of them.
Yep. Because no one cares about Haunted Mines. No one.
Honestly, the maps just... It can't happen. It's bad. It's just so bad.
It really is.
People I remember playing games on there. It's so nostalgic in the bottom. I'm like, did you seriously ever play, like coordinated games on that map? That map is so bad.
That map is garbage.
To try. Garbage, man.
Yeah.
It's so backwards in strategy and in game principles and everything that it just doesn't
If you
work.
think that Hanamura is bad with the camp being stronger than the actual objective, play one game of coordinated on Haunted Mines and tell me that's a good map.
Yeah. Merc Queen, just pick up a Merc Queen and pick up whatever.
Yeah, and then pick up all the camps and never enter the mines.
Yeah, and ask, do you have a problem with my 2-level advantage? Because you've gotten their structures, walls, soaked all the lanes, and killed somebody.
So we actually played on Haunted Mines.
XGDI 2.
No, was it XGDI or was it CCS Invitational?
I thought it was XGDI.
It may have been 2 seasons ago's XGDI, where you could play on any map if both teams agreed, and for some reason we were convinced into playing Haunted Mines, and we pushed down the bottom lane until the game ended.
Yeah.
We took all the camps, soaked the top lane, and just 4-pushed bot until the game ended. Someone on the opposing team eventually took the objective, but at that point they were already losing their core, so... Speaking of Haunted Mines, did it get a core update?
No, it didn't.
Interesting. That leads me to think one of 2 likely possibilities. First off, they've given up on the map, and bravo for knowing when to cut your losses eventually.
Reddit wants it back, Ektar.
Or they're actually trying for a 3rd time to make that map function.
I think they threw it in the garbage bin when Deathwing came out, to be real fair.
Can he even play on that map?
Exactly, that's the point. There's no way, technically, for them to make it work, I believe.
Huh.
So...
maybe,
It's
maybe, they get rid of the in and out of the mines part of it and try to make the map function from there.
Yeah, as a 3-lane map or something like that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it, but that's the whole point. Everyone's like, I entered the mines. We're talking about maps that aren't the current map we're playing.
It's
Again, this is a consistent thing, but this is, real podcast hours, as we see Zool picked up for the 3rd time by Atlas.
I do like the Deckard Cain ban. It worked out really well for Bad by Design, even with questionable talent choices. Smith assert my personal opinions into there, but Deckard Cain's has won every game that he's played so far this season, so getting him out of there is
This series.
I mean, small sample size, but still true.
You said season.
Okay,
which
sorry,
I was like, wow,
series.
I don't think he has a
That's
100%
probably
win rate.
not accurate. I think the Stukov is an interesting ban. It's the first time we've seen him represented this series.
Yeah, it's true. I wonder if that's more targeted. They we let the Garrosh through.
Yep.
Here we let who else has been banned that's kind of been made to get through now?
Well, Zool has made it 3 out of 3 now.
Yeah, that's something. Take big maps, doesn't matter.
Yep. To be fair, thinking about it, Stukov was banned before any of the picks, but Zool and Stukov is like a really nasty combo.
Sure is. Ooh, excuse me.
Not gonna
Rhaegar.
be seeing Bloodlust here. I don't know that we would have seen it necessarily anyway, but it's really gotten some popularity recently.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to play some Bloodlust comps where you just kind of run at them and, say, what are you going to do about our healing auto attacks that hit hard? There's not a lot some compositions can do with it.
It also enables bruisers that don't otherwise have good mobility, like Azul.
Or sustain, like Azul, except if he doesn't take full W build.
Right. Hey, so you want to play some Bloodlust comps after this cast?
That sounds kind of nice, actually.
Yeah.
Who do I need to play? I played some Q-Build Vala yesterday. That was... I need to appreciate Q-Build Vala more. It's actually, good. But
Anywho, this draft is a draft.
It-
I love Falstad on this map for very similar reasons as to why I would like him on Alterac Pass, because he's global and he is functional in the Soul Lane. But even more than that, there's camps to bribe on this map, so I like that Falstad pickup quite a bit. Mal'Ganis is a nice A-tier tank when all of the S-tier tanks are unavailable to you. Jaina, I don't think we've seen yet this series, can do very well with Johanna as follow-up CC. And I don't know that Malfurion is the counter healing you would want to prevent something like a Jaina, although Anduin, possibly my favorite choice for the healer there, has already been taken away from them, so... Malfurion...
Beat Drop?
Trank is pretty good.
Pretty good. I think Beat Drop would also be really good, negating the Jaina damage.
Yeah, that would be the other one.
And they did show they played Lucio last game, so that's a possibility. Ragnar's picked up again, so it's relatively similar, especially with the kind of off-lane arrangement for Bad by Design. They have gone with the Malthael and the Ragnaros again, which helped them leverage their advantages really nicely. And then they just picked a different kind of main core of heroes, which is fine.
Yeah. So it's time for the caster question. Who do you think won draft here?
Bad by Design. I think they've definitely got the better draft here. If nothing more than they get to do the same thing that worked last game.
I don't know if I can say better, but it's easier.
It's easier. That's oftentimes better.
Alrighty, we have for the last time tonight spawning in on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, Die for Vision with Shamhat playing Malfurion, Earlschlepp playing Li Ming, Michael back on Mal'Ganis, Sulfide on the Feed Chicken, and Atlas playing Zool for 3 out of 3.
Alright, and on the right side of the map, it is Bad by Design coming back. We'll complete the quote-unquote reverse sweep with this If they win this one, we've got Althine on Anduin, Storm on Jaina. I like that little combination now. Lathendra on Ragnaros, Captain Crowley on Johanna, and Inet 3 out of 3 on Malthael.
Checking out the level 1 talents again, we do have the start of the bird box build coming from Feed. That is not a comment on Sulfide, only a comment on Falstad himself and how his name is funny. We do have the Lingering Chill coming out, which is not a very commonly chosen talent. And already 10 meatball stacks, so really well done by the Ragnaros here.
That would have been a really satisfying ding 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 to hear. Oh, it doesn't matter. There's 6 more already. 20%, slightly over 20% done with this quest. Sulfide's gonna actually fly up to the top lane, directly into the middle of his minion wave that's being attacked by Inept. So, spicy there. Storm in a little bit of a dangerous spot, but is able to escape.
You know, Ace, there was something that we haven't yet talked about in this series.
What haven't we talked about yet in this series?
So with Anduin, you can see right now that he's running around with his sword put away. If, as an Anduin, you use your W ability on one of these interior walls before the game starts, the projectile will go out, but then it gets eaten by the front wall, as happens to every projectile at the start of the game. This means that Anduin never has his projectile come back, so he never puts his sword away. So he just runs around with his sword held high until he dies, and it's the greatest thing that you can possibly do as an Anduin player.
It really is. Have we had Anduin for both teams as well?
We have, I'm pretty sure.
And no matter what, we get to bring it up in the post-game interview, and that's just great.
Scene is
change your
blocking.
scene.
Thank you very much.
Wrap to game.
Yeah.
At least it's not the between games.
Oh, it might have been, though. I thought I put us on between
It wasn't.
games. That's decent, at least.
Yep.
We do have camps getting taken by both sides, picking up a little bit sooner for the members of DesignDivision, but not so much that I think that they get a major advantage from it.
If anything, the advantage would be the fact that Storm and Althine took actually a ton of damage from that.
Yeah.
Like, Anduin almost died, and then Jaina came in and lost like 2/3 of her health, and Anduin's still running around trying to heal himself up. So there's a lot of health traded out for that bruiser camp.
Yeah, but it's not likely to actually amount to anything in the long term.
No, it's just a little map presence as there was some hearthing action occurring.
We do have the first objective spawning in the bottom lane, which gives a slight advantage over in favor of DesignDivision because they've got a global in the top lane.
That they do. They were able to position that. I don't know if they flew early enough to see that or not. Captain Crowley might actually have to tap her hearth before this starts up. That's a full hearth.
Yep. So, a little bit less of an advantage there, but I'm pretty sure they had tap available, and they just want to keep it for this ensuing team fight.
That is correct. So,
although, with Johanna backing, Falstad does have, it looks like, bribe stacks, who's going to be able to bribe that camp and fly on in. And that gives advantage for DesignDivision to just get into position, and barely gets interrupted by an F there.
yeah, those very close. There's not a lot of great poke here for Bad by Design. Jaina, Ragnaros, and Malthael, all short-ranged heroes. Sulfide coming in on the flank, going to bother the Anduin in the back. Inept is in a little trouble up front as he's going to get, actually not CC'd, which could have secured his doom. Captain Crowley now popping the unstoppable, and health bars are depleting, but we have the Behold Ragnaros, which is making the big difference here.
Yeah, Michael should get punished for sleeping in there.
No.
He's going to be able to get on out. We do have Falstad. I heard him make the sound. Looks like he canceled his flight up to the top lane.
Probably
the first objective going over in favor of Bad by Design. Falstad, what are you doing? I thought you were so safe I didn't even look at you die.
Storm walked through the bush and just full bursted Falstad before he even knew what was happening because he was looking at the 1 second left on his global ability and probably wasn't even looking at himself.
All right. Ace, I don't play a whole lot of Jaina. Can you explain this Jaina build to me?
No.
Love
okay.
Silence.
I'm glad that worked out. No, I can't explain it. The one you need a mana talent,
right?
And so you can take it either 1 or 4. 1 gives you a bonus benefit, 4 gives you better mana sustain. then
But even
Ice Float is gaining popularity because Cone of Cold is really good, but still, Jaina things, I guess.
a lot of damage being put into Inept and Captain Crowley there, but a lot of damage put into Shamhat as well. Just a whole bunch of people taking big, chunky damage here. However, I think Shamhat's probably going to be able to heal up their team a little bit better than Anduin, at least as far as the AoE damage is considered. Although not going into the increased duration when you land the Moonfire, but instead going into the pseudo-cleanse of the Nature's Cure on 7, so potentially able to save people a little bit better, but less able to just continue to chunk out heals.
To be fair, there's not enough CC for Bad by Design for me to think that's worth. Like, you've got shields, I guess once the ultimates come online, yeah, but not in the base kit, so
Yeah.
we'll have to see if that gets some value, because the regrowth duration is a big deal, in my personal, non-Malfurion playing opinion.
We do have both teams looking to take their Bruiser camps basically as soon as they spawn, which again will be a little bit faster for Die for Vision because they took theirs just a little bit earlier, and their camp clear is very strong with Atlas on it this time.
Yep, that'll basically be a fast pickup there. Inept going to come in and rotate in. And this is going to be a 10s versus 10s fight. We'll have to see. Falstad has fly available. He's going to go ahead and fly up to the point. Let's get these ults in before this fight begins. We've got Gust and Nova for Die for Vision so far. Light Bomb, Elemental, Lava Wave, Blast Shield, Blast Rights all ready.
Yeah, got the Wave of Force picked up just now. The Carrion Swarm, and to be determined from Malfurion. Going to hide that away. You can still see it in the top. They really need to pick this up on the side of Die for Vision. Bad by Design are already up 2 objectives to 0. Inept is going to fall, however, very quickly, which is going to give Yiming her first resets of the game. Light Bomb comes out, unfortunately only hitting out onto Mal'Ganis, who did have the Lava Wave top, which, yeah, it's good, but it doesn't help them win this team fight, and that is going to be the first objective won for Die for Vision.
Yep, that was,
Tranquility picked up.
No, it was, Twilight Dream.
That's the one I meant. Totally right.
It got interrupted in that fight. He snap picked it, and then immediately got interrupted, which I thought was kind of funny. Overall, nice pull from Anduin. I think Ragnaros was in a little bit of danger zone with the Mal'Ganis CC being able to follow up on that.
Yeah, and likely the roots as well come from the Malfurion. Pulled before even the Calamity was able to land.
Yep, so nice little save right there, and we'll see bottom objective is where it's at. It is in the center area, so it is kind of a neutral position, but Die for Vision's got their global up top, so
he did fly
the minor
objective. Is it up currently?
15, no, it is up.
Okay,
it is up.
Cool. So he's going to go bribe that, which will give them a nice advantage if this fight goes long. Really early pop from the Beholden. I don't like this play very much at all, because, like, the tribute's not even up yet. This doesn't do really anything too much.
Yeah, that's poking Ragfort, and poking Ragfort is not the optimal way to use Ragfort. Mike
Earl Schlupp getting poked quite a bit, though, and is going to get less right immediately.
Well, I'll eat my words there.
When it works,
poking
it works, I guess.
Yeah, you know, it did its job. 5v4 advantage now for Bad by Design as they're pushing it towards the wall, protecting Althine as they channel the first curse of this game.
Yeah. And Malthael immediately using that lighter than average colored horse to get on up there, vacuum up the globes in mid, not even dismount, and then head on up to the top lane for a similar purpose. So we have a 3-on-3 in the bottom lane right now, which, because of the heroes specifically, I think actually favors Die for Vision a little bit because they've got a better front line. But they're not responding top yet. They did have a camp there that was helping them to defend, but now they do need to send someone on up there, and it will be Zool.
Yep. Yep, I think this curse might not actually get a whole lot. This could be as low as just like
3 walls.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, not even the walls in the bottom lane because they can't push into a Mal'Ganis.
It's true. I would like to see Johanna rotate down. Like, Johanna does a lot of things, but like siege into a fort that's defended is not one of them.
No.
Top is
Falstad up to try and gank.
Yeah, good presence of mind from Inept to back out before that happens. I could see a world where he's baited into trying to last right the Zool there and just gets blown up by Falstad. So really well done by them to not fall for that. We've got an immediate boss pickup coming out from DesignDivision. I want to see if this gets identified and how Bad by Design try to counter this.
See the vision for Bad by Design. They just saw Earl Schlepp headed directly for the boss. Earl Schlepp like, oh, I wasn't headed that way. I wasn't joining my team. Captain Crowley's going to move into the bush and be immediately slept, but they see the boss has been called, and it is time for team scuffling.
Yeah, Malthael a little bit late to the party, but it's actually still going really well for Bad by Design here, as Malthael is here now and turns it into a 5 versus 4. That Bad by Design were able to make a 4v4 from a 4v5 that they had been fighting before, so really exceptionally kind of well done by them in that team fight.
Yep, that is kind of the boss thing where you can turn a fight, especially on this map, where the threatened zone of the boss kind of cuts the teams off between like that little tree section and the boss, and you can end up taking some really nice fights as the defenders now. Nice flank also by Inept behind this boss to try and get something done, but
yeah, Storm and Althine weren't really on the same page with that though, so not able to make anything too much happen. But boss is going to be pushing out into the keep wall, going to get some damage done there. I would love to see them rotate up and just take their own boss as their opponents are defending.
Yep.
Looks like they're just going to push mid, which is also fine, and additionally take their bruiser camp.
Also fine.
Yep.
And then maybe their boss with level 16.
That would
Also
be another
fine.
good, fine play that they can make.
A lot of fine things.
things to do when you're up players in map position.
They didn't actually get this fort yet, though, which is a little bit unfortunate for them.
Yeah, I think if they take their own boss, they should be able to make that happen. But
Yeah, I would
it's
love
if they
to see them give up the objective and just go for boss right now.
Yeah, they are up 16, so they don't have to fight, or they don't have to get the objective. Instead, they are going to take the Bruiser camp, shove it in mid, and confirm that camp or the fort capture. So that's not nothing for sure.
But a boss, Ace.
It's not nothing. It's not a boss, but it is not nothing objectively.
Yeah. Oh, very few things are nothing. In fact, no things are nothing. Only nothing is nothing.
Indeed.
Welcome to the Ace and Ektar.
Philosophical, existential podcast. Casting
This
podcast.
is a bit of a weird champ play coming out from Bad by Design.
I don't know where they're going. I just looked at the map and I'm just like...
Malthael is just running into the... It looks like they were running straight to boss, but instead going to clear top lane. And the rest of the team is in the bottom lane on the other side of the mini wave, so I don't know what's happening. You have Lava Wave off cooldown, off cooldown. I would love to see that put on cooldown to get some value, but probably saving it for a big objective fight.
Yeah, which is fine. Or using it to help clear up a camp or something like that. It works. But Bad by Design seems really confused as to what to do right now. Yeah. They do pick up top fort, which is a plus. That is all the forts down. Storm cut off from the Anduin, but is going to make the wise retreat path due to the vision that they had, which Die for Vision did not die for, so inaccurate name.
Yeah, I don't really like this anymore from Bad by Design. They're in an advantageous position, but they don't have any really big advantages. Like before they had 16, and all they got with it was like a fort and then eventually a second fort. Oh, big CC coming out onto Michael. Let's see if they're able to chain it to stop him from using his ult from coming out. Looks like he'll be able to get the Carrion Swarm. Though to be fair,
a relatively impactful Carrion Swarm. Inept's in a lot of trouble though. He needs a pull out immediately, which pulls him directly through the active boss and gets the slam for the kill. Jaina gets silenced out, so she couldn't use her abilities. Ended up just walking forward instead. Bad by Design now running it from this fight down 2 heroes, and that's going to be second tribute for Die for Vision.
Yeah, but they get the entirety of the bottom wall because of the camp and catapult pressure that they've got. This one catapult cannot figure out how to get behind this boss, though.
Siege Giant just too thick.
Yeah.
Ragnar's Meteor checks the boss. Sees 2 down bottom. They could try and pull their own bosses. Their players are respawning, but just judging by how Bad by Design's been playing, they're not going to do that.
Oh, that name sounds so bad when you say sentences like that. Judging by how bad By Design have been playing.
Oh my gosh. How
you don't
dare
mean
they?
it like that, but come on, you guys named yourself that. That's not our fault.
Just help us out here. Don't make us feel bad.
Also, you know how every team has a like abbreviation or a ticker for a short form of their name?
Yeah. Tell me, Hector.
Bad By Design's got a pretty decent one.
It's fairly decent, I suppose.
Yeah.
As I found out yesterday when we were picking up this match. So, tribute spawning on Bad By Design's side of the map. Level 18 to 19 for both teams, so we'll see if either team tries to stall for 20, grab 20, do an alternate kind of strategy here.
I want to see Rag rip that lava wave, like, immediately.
Well done.
Pretty close.
Well done.
Pretty close.
I'll give it. It's within margin of error.
Yeah.
Captain Crowley gonna go ahead, CC down, Popsy unstoppable. Inept is going to be the one in the trouble at the top as we have kind of a two-fronted fight going on. Storm is in trouble in the bottom lane, but wow, turns the damage against Falstad, takes him out, and now the retreats are coming out from DesignDivision as multiple kills have been picked up.
Yeah, really well done by them. That was an incredibly awkward fight to navigate, and they did so in a decent way. Like, it could have been a little bit better, but they ended up not losing anyone, and considering how deep Falstad went into this, second lava wave getting picked up by Ragnaros at 20 and shoving it immediately into the bottom lane is going to find them a lot of value. We do still have Inept trying to chase down Atlas. Not going to find him, but there's a boss right here, and I would love to see them take it, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, this boss will force DesignDivision to either give up the keep and let a boss push, or give up a curse. So, great decisioning here, and I don't think they can contest the curse, to be real honest.
Yeah, not realistically.
No, unless we had some real god game moment.
FPS Nate with the only thing he said in chat today. Well
Nate,
done, Nate. Your presence
wait,
has
just
been
check
felt.
just check on Urban Dictionary if you're unsure. I'm sure you have no idea. Well done. Curse picked up for Bad By Design. And they're pushing in on this bottom keep with a literal full health boss. Gust comes out, but 2 kills already picked up. Storm gonna be counter killed, but it'll cost Sulfide his life. No, Last Rites comes out too late. Shamhat gets stunned, and I think this game is just about over, Ektar.
Yep. Ragnaros is even going to be able to get the Ragnar out in time at sub 200 hit points, and I don't think there's really anything at this point that DesignDivision is going to do. It'd have to be the defense of a lifetime, and you know they've got a hero on their team that can make those defenses, but she's currently dead for 30 seconds.
Yeah, unfortunately the core will be dead much sooner than that, and Game 3, and completing the reverse sweep, in air quotes, is Bad By Design.
GG's coming out from both sides, and well played.
That was a good set. Another, I wonder, it feels like we've gone to Game 3, like, almost every cast lately, Ektar, and I wonder what our streak on that is right now, because it's been
decent.
Pretty good. And pretty good. Li Ming, 4th in damage on the team, was unable to find the openings needed and the resets that, allow her to pop off like you would like to see the Li Ming do.
Yeah, just generally low damage coming out from the side of DesignDivision that game. Like, getting beaten out very significantly by their opponents that game.
Yeah, Storm did a great job turning some of these fights around and just bursting down opponents. The Icy Veins working well with the Numbing Blast at 16, really to turn the fight on Sulfide.
Yeah,
so
Numbing
nice
Blast
job.
just allows you to get so much value.
Yeah, it allows Blizzard to hit, and Blizzard is a good ability. Usually it's like, usually it's a starter to your chill combo, but with Numbing Blast, you can actually make it hit 2 or 3 times. That adds a really large amount of damage.
It sure does, and we're going to be getting Atheline, how I've been saying it incorrectly all game, in for a post-game interview. We're going to go on and hop into Lobby 1 so we can get that taken care of.
All right.
Congratulations there on your 2-1 reverse sweep.
Thank you.
All right, we've got to start. How do you pronounce the name?
Yes.
It's pronounced Althine.
Althine.
Yeah.
All right, you are a lot closer.
Well, I mean, the L came before the T.
Don't you make fun of my reading. Or lack thereof.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Alrighty, so you had map pick. In fact, I don't even want to go into the map yet. I want to go into y'all's bans, banning out Shrines and Towers, which Shrines is the most played map by a significant margin. Towers has been relatively popular the last few seasons. And your opponents banned out Volskaya and Tomb. Did you guys just agree we don't want to play standard maps this series? Or is that just how your team rolls?
Our team definitely rolls that way when it comes to towers. Infernal is actually one of our favorite maps, but we also saw that they kind of picked it quite often. So we were trying to make sure that they didn't have a comfort if it happened to be a comfort. So we were just kind of going off of some of the data that we had, and it was like, let's just not take them there. I guess they didn't like Volskaya very much either, but Tomb is also one of our favorite maps, so...
Alrighty, so then why Sky Temple of all maps remaining?
Sky's actually one of our favorites as well. We wanted initially to do like an Abathur on it, but we were like, we're not feeling it today. And that's kind of a comfort for us especially when it comes to Sky Temple. So we just kind of wanted something a little different, just because we haven't gone to Sky very often. And since, like you guys said, the typical picks were already banned, it was just like, let's just go here and see how it goes.
Alrighty. I definitely feel Abathur on that map quite a bit. It's what I try for every time that I get to play that map, which is not very often, but... Alrighty. And then, so game 1 didn't really work out for you particularly well. I liked your comp quite a bit, especially the Chromie pickup, being able to have a nice defensive bunker to take the objective fights at, but what about that game do you think ended up not working out so well for you?
A lot of it was just communication. That last fight that we took, we could have probably waited maybe even half a second longer just so our Chromie was there. So if Leth was in a bit better of a position, we probably could have taken that fight better. But there was definitely a lot of, I wouldn't say ego flying, but there was a little bit of like miscommunication of like where we should be going, which definitely caused our downfall on that map.
Sure, alright. And then I think you guys opted for hero pick going into game number 2, correct?
Oh no, we picked
No, they picked
the
all the
you,
maps.
so you
we picked all the maps.
Okay, cool. Alright, so why Alterac Pass then? Because that is one of the least played maps as well.
That's actually a good question. I don't because like we're super weird. Really, our team is super weird. We try to be as versatile on as many maps as possible, and we do tend to like those point-based maps. Especially for like if we can get our comfort. Like finally, I get to play Deckard. Like Deckard has been banned multiple times for me. And then if Storm gets his Li Ming, like that's definitely something that we play to our strengths. So since Volskaya was banned, we were like, okay, something close to it is Alterac. It's point-based. We're going to make sure that, we kind of do what we need to do CC-wise, and then we can actually, like, get the win out, thank God.
Yeah, I definitely think that the general long-form team fight maps worked out pretty well for your team. I think that Die for Vision were picking up camps just a little bit sooner, maybe soaking a little bit better, but I think when it came to these straight-up 5 versus 5 team fights, I think you edged them out just a little bit more often than they got the better of you.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely what we were hoping for. We were definitely game 2 and 3. We were communicating a lot better with a lot of our CC and just making sure that we followed up when necessary, which was the problem, especially in 4 map 1. Like when Storm goes his Alarak, normally we have a proper follow up, and I didn't follow up properly with like my roots on the Anduin. So we combo much better when we're on those heroes that we know like in and out. So with like the roots from the Jaina when we finally got it, or just me and Crowley with the light bomb, blessed and things like that. So
alrighty,
just
very
help
cool.
out that way.
I love, and it's rare, but I love when I can get a captain's interview with the healer player, because I'm a healer main myself, so I get to ask all of the healer-specific questions like, why do you not take Ruby when it's ridiculous right now? Sorry about my dogs.
No, you're fine. I've got 2 of them, and they're actually being lovely today. So I know Ruby is insane, but we tend to play a little more defensively when it comes to especially at least for my healing, I play a little more defensively with my healing. So the shields help to kind of get the guys out better than just like when Ruby's just full on hard engage. If we're running more of like just in your face comp, then yeah, I will take Ruby. But I've been practicing with like the shielding for so long that it's just kind of second nature to just pick it, and then like the guys understand, okay, I'm taking this and now I'm leaving.
That's fair. I personally played with Ruby a little bit more above average beforehand, so I just thanking Blizzard from the bottom of my heart for that.
The change.
Ridiculous buff
Yeah,
that
it's a
he's
great
got.
change. It's just for our play style, it's not necessarily what the guys are looking for.
Alrighty. And then, of all of the maps, Cursed Hollow is the only one that we guessed correctly that you picked, because it was, in our minds, the most similar in style to Alterac Pass, which worked out very well for you.
Yep.
Nice. We got 1 ace.
We did it. We did it. That is... Whew.
And
We were really worried.
I don't know that there's a whole lot I can really ask about game number 3. You played it very similar to the way you played Alterac, and it worked out, I think, even better than the second map did for you.
Yeah, I think so. Again, it was just communication. Like our team is very momentum based. So, and it showed especially through the last few matches. Like unfortunately, the season has not been the greatest for us. Like things aren't copacetic. But when we actually have like a good game, like we did with these guys for DesignDivision, it shows in our play, and that's why like game 3 kind of highlighted that we can actually do things. It's just if one person's feeling a little bummed, everybody feels it. So like as long as we try to keep making jokes and like communicate better, then we actually show up and play and win.
I totally get that. My usual NGS team is actually taking the current season off, because at the end of the last season we were all just kind of bummed,
Yeah.
An above average amount of the times. We're like, you know what, Season 9, we'll just like sub on a couple of teams or take the season off entirely, come back with a fresh mindset, and look out for Lurk Patrol in Season 10.
And that's what we did, because we originally came from Heroes Lounge. So that's what we did last season for Heroes Lounge. Like, the first couple of weeks we played were just god-awful. Like, just straight-up garbage. And we were like, okay, I think it's time that we need to, like, back it up. Because we had been playing consistently for 4 seasons straight. And with,
That's a lot of playing.
school... Yeah, so, like, with schooling going on for one of our guys and just work being insane for a couple others, and then, with all of this recent stuff happening, it was like, okay, let's just focus on real life first and then get back into it. So we're still kind of working out the kinks, especially since it's our first time here for NGS, but, like, when I think we're slowly starting to get back into the groove,
Well,
it just took some time.
we are happy to have you, and keep an eye out for the Murder Hornets.
The Murder Hornets. Uh-oh.
Have you not...
That
Oh,
was
wow.
a very inquisitive tone, and I really think that fits.
Just don't Google it. You'll feel safer if you don't.
Oh, boy.
It's fine.
And then
Oh, right!
I think the last question, and this is a very personal one from the bottom of my heart as an Anduin player.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the visual bug with Anduin?
I am not.
Or the phrase running with scissors.
Alright, so with Anduin, if you cast Divine Star at the wall before the game starts, you know how it kind of like just eats projectiles?
Yeah.
So with Anduin, he keeps his sword out when you use Divine Star until the projectile comes back. But if you use it before the game starts on the wall, the projectile never comes back, so he just keeps his sword
He
out
just keeps it out. Oh, that's neat!
until he dies. So you could potentially have your sword out for literally the entire game.
I'm gonna have to try that one day.
It's my favorite thing in the world, and because he's got like such a ridiculous running animation with his awkwardly held sword, we've taken to calling it running with scissors, and it makes me so happy.
Gotcha. God, okay. For a moment, I thought I messed up something, and I was like,
No,
oh no, I'm gonna
no.
get in trouble.
No.
No, this is an extremely minor thing that I take way too personally. Because I love it so much. I even got Kai Berries to do it on stream once. Made me so happy.
Nice.
We're gonna educate every healer in NGS how to do this in post-game interviews eventually.
Yep.
I'm gonna get some practice on it and make sure I can make you proud.
I'm looking forward to it, and I'm gonna try to look out for you guys doing games in the future to see if this happens now.
Oh shit, no pressure. Oops.
All right.
Sorry.
Nah, we're an adult stream here. We
Great, cool, thanks.
we've got the "we do not cater to children" tag every time someone enters Twitch chat and all that. We're good.
Gotcha.
Ace, do you got anything else?
No, I was making sure we covered running with scissors, and we got it. So
Excellent.
I'll see you guys in a couple weeks when we have to play. Smile.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Ace is on Duritan's couch, so look forward to that. Now that you've been fully scouted.
You
Wait.
are.
We played you guys. You were our first match.
Oh, well, I wasn't in for that. Maybe I was. Wow, I might be really bad at this thing.
A couple more weeks when you're both in playoffs.
We have not.
then.
Okay.
I was
okay.
like, wait a minute.
No. We haven't played yet. I just looked at the season match results. There is no DC.
Duritan's couch was week 1 for us for Bad by Design.
I'm looking for Die for Vision. Curses. Foiled again. Foiled again. Bad by Design. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because we also played you guys in Heroes Lounge, like, season
I wasn't
prior.
on him then.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah. Oh, is this a game? I was even in on this game. Oh, I'm so sad now. Never mind. Good job. You have been post-scouted. All right.
Alrighty, that's it
all I've
for
got.
our portion of the interview. Now we're going to give it to you for any shoutouts that you want to give.
Shoutouts just to you guys first of all for casting. It's really neat that you guys cast as often as you do. It's super fun. Shoutouts to my boys, my guys. Thank God we showed up and we actually communicated. Shoutouts to anybody who's watching. Thanks for the support. And yeah, just thanks to NGS. It's been fun.
All right, thank you for showing entertaining games and coming on here for this post game interview. And good luck with the rest of your season.
Thanks. You guys have a good one.
Alrighty.
GG's.
All right, that is going to be about it for us. I don't yet have another game yet this week, but I'm sure there's going to be an open game on Thursday somewhere that I'll be picking up. I can't speak for Ace quite yet.
I have a match on Thursday, so it'll be unlikely if I were to cast with you. But
Alrighty.
I hear, on a completely unrelated note, that Durton's Couch has a spicy match coming up this week on Thursday.
Alrighty, so look forward to that, y'all. I don't know if it already has a caster, but I'm biased, and I'm not actually on that team, so this will be my first time being able to cast Ace's games, I think.
We do. It's Murda already.
Oh, maybe I'll have to see if he needs a co-caster then.
That could be a thing. There are, however, 19 matches already on Thursday, so or 21
Jeez.
matches. Yeah, Thursday night is Heroes Night, and right now we have 8 of 21 casted.
All right,
including a triple header at the same time for B East.
Wow. Y'all really like that one time slot, huh?
7:30, and 7:30 Central.
Alrighty. Well, we've got a pair of NGS games going on right now, so we're going to get the raid on over to D Hots. I am not familiar with their casting, but if they're going to cast NGS, I'm gonna try to have their back. So get on board the raid train, and we're gonna wait until 30-ish more seconds have passed before we can get that bad boy on.